Hi everyone and welcome back to Carla. In today's video we're tackling more of those annoying spots on the hull. Yep, pitting. We went back and forth on how much to remove, did a bit of overthinking and a lot of grinding. But in the end we found the right way forward and Carla is looking better already. Let's dive into it.
Well, the plate is back in, the hole is closed, everything is good. I was going to close the small hole down there, but last night when Heidi came home, we got talking about this whole area, looking around the boat, having no, of course we have surface rust, but nothing like this. We have some heavy pitting right at the edge over there, and these two sections and a section up there is quite attacked by this rust pitting. And as far as we can read online, pitting is some of the worst structural rust you can have. So we've made the decision, we're going to remove these plates. And it's going to be quite a job because I have to cut loose all the beams and everything, but oh well, we're almost used to it now, so let's get going. Well, the plates that we're going to remove are going to be from the hole all the way over here and over to around here. And right where we're going to cut, we have one of the aft supports. Now these supports I only made as an extra. The boat can easily stay stable with the 4 supports on the middle, 2 on each side. This is only an extra, but I still want it, so I think we'll move it a little further aft. We'll follow the curve of the boat, put it over there, then we can easily work and still have the support. So yeah, let's do that.
We're back inside the boat and Claus is marking out some guidelines before cutting the steel plate. We gotta keep those lines straight to make the welding in the new steel easier. He's cutting from the inside of the boat because, well, it's just way easier for him to reach without having to stand on anything. Everything's going fine while cutting through the middle, but as soon as he breaks through to the epoxy filler on the outside, boom, he's covered in dust. So yeah, safety first and mask on. It's nice to see he remembers even when I'm not around. We're not taking the whole plate in one go though. That's to keep the structure solid and because it's just way easier for Claus to manage the smaller pieces when working solo. Along the way, we've tried a few different methods for cutting through the steel, and Claus has found that for the bigger sections, the angle grinder is the way to go. It's faster, easier, and he doesn't have to mess around with the filler on the outside. But today, he had to break out the plasma cutter too. To get to this last piece, he would have needed to turn the grinder upside down, and let's be honest, he wasn't in the mood for a hot metal shower. For some reason, we didn't film the moment the piece actually came out, but trust us, it did, and now it's on to something completely different.
Well, as you know, we bought a small boat a while back. And to have a boat in the stream that we live next to, you have to have a boat number on the boat. It doesn't cost very much. It's a small yearly fee, I think. But when you have the number, it's registered and they know how many boats are on the river. Until now, we just had a guest number, but today I'm going to paint on the number that's going to stay there. We just received it on an email, so let's go paint it on the boat. The only black paint I have, in the rules they say the paint has to be in stark contrast to the paint that's already on the hull, and the hull is blue, so I think black. But the only black paint I have is this hammered finished paint. I think it's called in English. Normally it's for tools and for metal. It connects directly to rust. It's actually very good paint, I think. But I don't know how it's going to fit onto the boat, but well, I guess we'll have to see. So, now I just need to find a brush and we'll take the tractor and go down there, flip the boat and see if we can dry it off and paint some.
One of the things we love the most about living here is being surrounded by nature. We've got woods and trails running right through our property, and they've kind of become our everyday escape. Whether we're out for a walk, collecting sticks with the kids, or just listening to the wind in the trees, it's like nature slows everything down in the best way. And then there's the lake. We take the rowboat out sometimes just to float or sail a little, and it always turns into something special. The kids love it out there. It's peaceful, it's playful, and it's where we all feel most connected. It's not just about the view, it's the space to breathe, the quiet moments together, and the chance to just be. That's why we love it here.
Well, there she is. And man, look at the weather today. It's absolutely amazing. I just love the drive down here. The air is filled with dragonflies coming out of the grass over there. It's early summer. We have a lot of days to come like this, and I'm so happy that we have the small boat now to go out in the weekends. It's an enormous joy for all of us, even for Martha, even though she is a little mad right now that I'm not throwing a stick, but she'll have to wait until I'm finished with the painting. So now I'll see if I can turn it around. It's really heavy. It's really heavy, and that's why it's so stable in the water, but it makes it really heavy to handle up here. I can just turn it around by myself, but to get it in the water we have to be two people, and to get it out we have to have the winch. I think you saw it last time, I think so. So let's have a go. Well, that went all right, but it's really heavy, and you just have to balance it right in the middle and don't drop it. I don't think anything will happen if I drop it, but still. Well, when we put these temporary marks on, we were in quite a hurry. We're going sailing the same day, so just used a plastic bag with a piece of paper, drew the temporary number on the paper and put it in the plastic bag and duct taped it onto the boat. And I'm kind of regretting that now because well, the duct tape is sticking to the boat quite severely and it's breaking up and it's leaving glue. But I just found out using heat to soften the top of the duct tape, you can actually get the hard part of it off, and then getting some gasoline from the tractor on the small rag that I have, I can wipe it away, the glue. So yeah, that works. It gets quite hot. Suddenly I'm glad I didn't decide to walk down here, because then I wouldn't have the gasoline. Perfect. Here you can see the leftovers from the guy who had it before us. I think he used it for fishing, and if you use a boat for fishing in Denmark, I'm pretty sure you have to keep a number on it too. It's numbers. Well, let's bring out the paint. We have another big hole in Carla, and man, I'm looking forward to the day where we can stop cutting holes in Carla and start building. But the day will come, we will get finished with the metal work. It's just a little way to go yet. But we have this, and if you can imagine, we have to cut all the way down here and all the way in to the other hole we have in the bottom. On this side, we're going to continue down to here, over here, and then all the way in. So we'll remove a big portion of the side here. But I'm simply afraid if I do this now, if I cut all of this plate away, I don't know what it's going to do with the structural integrity of the boat. I'm simply worried that the back will start to sag or something. So I cut away a little of the next curve after the bend here, so that we are able to put in this plate. I think we'll weld in this plate first, and then we'll cut out the next one. Then we'll weld that one in before we cut out the last one. So we'll do it in stages, so we keep the integrity of the boat, the structural integrity of the boat. Sounds like a plan? Let's get going. Okay, so here we have the plate we cut out of Carla yesterday. I cut out of Carla yesterday. I put it on a new, or one of our old pieces of sheet metal. We can just about make this one, and we might even get to make the next one out of this sheet as well. But then we don't have any more of that. But luckily we have a new piece standing right over there. I know this pitting for some might not look that severe, but we had to change this part down here. And to change that, we had to go above this line in order to get this line redone. And when we go above this line, we might as well take as much of the old plate with us as we did. So that's why I went this far up, even though it's not actually that bad up there. Let's get going.
Here we've got what is clearly the best camera placement ever. Yep, that cord hanging right in the middle of the shot. Total pro move. Well, anyway, Claus is heating up the hull to loosen the epoxy so it scrapes off a whole lot easier. He's laid out a tarp underneath where he's working so that everything that comes off gets caught. The last thing we want is to pollute or contaminate the area around us in any way. We're trying to leave the ground under Carla in the best shape possible when this project is over. So we collect all the scraps and the dust and make sure it's disposed of properly.
Well, I think it might soon be okay to make a new table instead of this. Well, at least I don't mind if I cut into it. That's the upside, I guess. But other than that, it's really wonky. But it works. Well, I just had to bring out my phone because our GoPro just ran out of power, so that's why you might read this the wrong way around. But we're finished. I got it on both sides now. It's clear. You can read it from afar. That's the point. Of course, it could have been nicer if we had the stencils or if it was a sticker or something like that. But this is absolutely fine for the use. So yeah, Now I just have to pack up my stuff, go back home and see what to do next. Oh yeah, of course, there is one thing we have to do before we go back. I think Martha needs me to throw a stick. Come. You ready? She absolutely loves to go in the water. It's almost torture for her to be down here without going in the water, but she'll wait until we tell her. Well, sometimes.
Now it's time for Claus to figure out how to control the plate and keep it steady until it's tacked into place. To help with that, he is welding on some temporary stops, so when he pulls at the plate from the inside, it won't fall through the hole. But honestly, he's still fighting it. Doing all this alone is tough, and he will definitely need to come up with a smarter solution. Luckily, he does that, and you'll see that in our next video, so don't miss it. But anyway, once it's tacked it into place, it's smooth sailing from there. Well, that's just about it for this plate. The rest that needs replacing will come in the next video. It's honestly just amazing to see how far we've come already. With every piece we replace, Carla gets stronger and we get a little more peace of mind, knowing she'll be ready to handle whatever comes her way once we go out sailing. But for now, it's time to wrap up this video. But we'll see you next time when Claus gets to work on the rest of the pitting in the hull. As always, if you've got any comments, questions, or good advice for us, leave them in the comment section down below. We really enjoy reading everything you send our way. And if you'd like to support the project even more, consider joining the crew on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.